I'll just do a.
Hi, Greg.
I'll do like a little like here's what's happened blurb. Whenever I one day edit all the fucking episodes I have to edit.
Well played, Zen. Well played.
Thank you for that. Much obliged. Take a point of inspiration for that.
Woo!
Why not? Yeah, it ripples and you can feel your hand go through it. So it's like almost like a portal in a way. Where you're looking at your hand, you are able to move your hand back and forth, like pull it in and out. But there's something inside. There's like air in between it. Like you can feel your hand go through it like it's like icy and cold. But on the other side you can feel like an ambient temperature.
Have you been able to divine what it is?
After a manner of speaking, it seems to be some kind of transport sort of device.
Oh, splendid. Perhaps we should take our leave of this place then?
Can I stick my head through and look around?
Yes, you may. So you stick your head in and you see it's still like a circular. It's like a small circular room. It's black. It's like pitch black in here. As you go in, like this kind of dim white yellow light illuminates from the floor of this sphere. There is like a flat floor and like a dome sphere where like the orb goes around it, and you see in front of you on this floor this kind of like path lights up. Like it illuminates almost like sigils leading you towards the center of the sphere, where you see sort of like a what is it called, like a little, like not a dais but like a lectern, like a speech lectern. For those who are confused what lectern is, it's like priests stand at it, like your professors stand at it, like a little podium kind of thing. Is that the right word? Lectern?
Yeah,
that's the right word. What would you like to do?
So, would I divine that I'm just looking, or that I can send my friends through this thing and they'll arrive in that room?
You're just looking into it right now.
Do I have any idea what this is?
You do not.
Okay.
I'd say that you would know it's a vessel of some sort, but you have yet to. You have attuned to it, so you know it's a vessel or some kind of transport. But beyond that, like, you don't know yet.
Can I get up inside?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'll pull my head out real quick and just be like, hang tight for a second. I gotta check this out.
You all see Nud disappear into this bubble. This orb. And as you do, Nud, you see around you the sphere walls begin to like go opaque, like the sound like frost, like kind of crackling as like the walls sort of quote unquote come to life. You can see out, but it's like it's almost like privacy glass in a way, where like you can see Remy and Zen, but they're very blurred. You can get their general like shapes and like color. But the podium lights up as you enter.
I'm gonna go check that thing out.
As you approach, It's blank. It's like a black kind of like, it looks like glass. But as you approach, you see it light up, and it looks like a hand, except for the hand only has 3 fingers and an opposable thumb. And it lights up.
I'm going to touch the hand.
You see an oscillating light underneath it for a brief moment before that illumination of the hand fades. And glowing underneath your hand, paw, however you want to call it, looks like a version of, like, an outline of yours takes its spot. And as it does, a bunch of screens pop up in front of you, floating kind of mid-air, giving you status reports of this vessel.
I assume I can, like, understand.
Yes,
that.
you can understand it. Like a lot of it is in a language that you're like, I have no clue what this language is. I've never seen it before, but you can somehow understand it.
Okay.
Essentially, in its current state, this vessel is unable to, as it puts it, break orbit, whatever that might mean to you. It can only stay in low atmosphere. It also has something called a local camouflage feature, which it asks if you would like to enable.
Negative. I will let you know.
It pops up with a warning that it's like a pop-up, like a little clippy pop-up almost. Without clippy. Maybe I'll come up with like a little fucking AI.
Looks like you're trying to fuck up your quest.
Yeah, looks like you're fucking up. But it essentially warns you that you are on a what's it called? Let me pull it up the note really quick. I apologize. It's You are on a protected world of the Galactic Federation of Conservation. And any disturbance of the local ecosystem is in violation of the GFC.
Oh.
And then that disappears as you basically say, no, I don't want the camouflage.
Well, hang on. Why don't we defer to your higher orders for the time being?
The thing pops up again with like a yes, no, do you want the camouflage?
Yeah. I suppose as one diplomat to another, we don't want an incident.
So, all of you outside, so you nut inside, the sphere begins to shrink and change shape to like a boxy square. It still looks the same inside, except for now it's like square. You all outside see this sphere ripple and move and change, and all of a sudden it forms into what looks to be a small sailing ship. As you all know, ships, like on the ocean.
In this room that we're in?
Yes, it's still floating above the ground, but it looks like a sailing ship now.
With what we talked about last night, I don't know, like this one maybe in particular, but would I kind of understand what this is?
I would say you would know potentially like its like origin, but not what like it is in its like the implications of like what it is, but maybe like, oh, this is probably a remnant of like, you know, XYZ.
I mean, like with her knowledge of what she's read, like would she know like, oh, this is a spelljammer?
Yes, I would say that you would know that this is a piece of ancient like technology of like basically how I imagine that you would think of it like in your mind as someone who's a native of Oroi is like you'd be like, oh, this is like the Covenant to like Forerunner, like oh, the humans to Forerunner technology.
I see.
Like it's both ancient and far more advanced than you could ever possibly grasp.
I stick my head out.
So you would walk out, and there's now like a essentially like a door. And as you go to reach for it, it like forms into like wood, and the rest of the room ripples as you touch it, and you see that like this room looks like a kind of like a main captain's deck quarters of like a ship as you go to touch the door handle. The podium and everything kind of fades away, almost like a mirage as you touch, as your hand is on the hand. Your hand is like turning the handle.
Yeah, I'll, I guess following this, I will go above deck and see if I can talk to my friends.
From here on out, for all intents and purposes, this is a sail ship. It looks like a sail ship. It's a small vessel. If you have the Astral Adventurer's Guide, this has the stats of a Shrike ship, but looks like a sailboat. It can hover. It cannot fly. It does not have that capability as of yet. It looks like it's missing something or in need of some sort of repairs.
Okay, as Knud comes out, Remy will... Oh my! Quite the find! Is it working?
Oh yeah, it's in tip-top shape for the most part.
Oh, wonderful. She'll look to Zen. Well, it's probably time to go.
Really quick, was Zen able to see Knud, like, when he went into this thing, like, from her vantage point? What did she see this whole time? Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I realized my mic was on.
Oh,
like,
okay.
my thing clicked to mute. What I said was, you would see Knud disappear into the orb.
Oh, okay. So, when he reappears, she jumps up with all of her Zen anger. Where did you go?
Well, I just popped in here to have a quick conversation and negotiated this means of transport for us.
Thought maybe you were... She's like hyperventilating. Thought you were gone and I was alone. Don't
Just out of
don't
sight.
leave me.
Just out of sight.
She just starts like crying uncontrollably.
Why don't you grab Cora, get her aboard, because Team Purple sticks together, right?
Right. Team Purple.
Make a strength check. Athletics, if you have it.
Oh, little Zen. Oh, little Zen. That's a 23.
You lift it. Like you are able to lift her. She's she's heavy. She's heavier than like you imagine a creature of her size would normally be, but like you've slung your bow, you've steeled yourself, you lift her up, no problem.
Okay.
Well, she's heavy, but like you manage.
Okay. She lifts her and is using that as a distraction from the crying, and she's kind of calming down a bit.
Alone? Remy will say, kind of like offended as she starts walking up onto the ship.
No offense, but I don't know you.
I've told you, I'm Remy. In fact, you've probably known me just as long as you've known Kaius.
I don't get it.
Maybe known of you more than we've gotten to know you.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Remy,
Yes.
now that we've got what seem to be reliable means of transport,
Mhm.
and maybe you could elaborate on the whole flesh book thing.
Yes. Well, I can and will freely. However, I must ask, is this truly something you want to know?
Truly, no. It's something I have to know, though.
Yes. All right. Well, in short, while you knew Caius as, well, you knew him, he was much different back when him and I were colleagues. Friends, even. Astute friends. Studying, learning, coming up together in the arcane arts, but we found ourselves at a dig site some time ago. I have long since lost track of exactly when this happened, but either way, we had found something down in this dig site. Something that seemed to take root in Caius's mind. It would seem the more I urged him to leave, the more I tried to get him to run, the more it tore him apart. And myself, it would seem. To gain the powers of whatever we found down there, sacrifices had to be made, such as the way of Halatash. And I turned out to be that sacrifice. So I became the book, and Caius its keeper. And I suppose it wasn't too long after that that Caius found himself with, well, you all.
No, Caius mentioned this Halatash as a sort of partner of his. What do you know of Halatash?
I'm sure he would have referred to him that way. Caius was not himself. At least, not as I knew him. Halatash has a way of worming into one's mind, stealing away their secrets, knowledge, and in turn promising power, peace, all of which are utter lies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Halatash seeks one thing, and one thing only. To consume. To take.
But what is a Halatash?
Beyond your comprehension, I'm afraid.
I'm smart.
It is beyond my comprehension, child.
So, was Caius always that way?
No. And in fact, I was quite surprised when he did what he did. I'd thought I'd lost him forever. But he showed me that there was still something left. Even if it was a small glimpse. And that's enough for me.
Say, if and when he starts writing to you again, maybe when you let us know, also try to see if he's feeling more himself. Yeah.
We shall see.
How did you guys
If he
switch
is-
places?
The sacrifice, I told you this. Oh, you mean now?
Yeah.
It would seem in rejecting his Halatash's will. He angered him. Enough so that Halatash sought retribution against him. Pulling him in, so to speak. There was a small window of opportunity on the other side, and I took it.
So
He had opened the door.
if we crack that door open, we could get out without you having to go back.
I very much doubt that to be a possibility. Contracts with Halatash are not easily broken. I am only here because I slipped through when Kaius went back. And I would assume Kaius is only a book because I was able to slip through, taking his place and in turn him taking mine. Should I not have gone through, I'm certain Kaius would have been consumed.
Can I smell bullshit?
Roll persuasion or deception, Remy, and Nud, you can roll insight.
$17 for my insight.
What did you roll, Kaius? Your total for whatever it is that you roll.
12?
12. Did you roll persuasion or deception?
Persuasion.
You get the vibe that this Remy, like as she knows the situation, is being honest about it. You don't sense that, like, you honestly sense, like, I would say probably not like that she's trying to convince you, that she's just speaking very matter-of-factly about it.
Okay.
Maybe that she doesn't even necessarily feel like she has to tell you, but she's just like, yeah, this is a conversation. Like, we're just chatting.
Tell you what. With Zen's permission, we'll call you an honorary member of Team Purple until such time as we're able to reestablish contact with our buddy Kaius. Then
Kind of put up a hand, and she'll. While I very much appreciate that, I have seen the dealings of this team and how it's wound up. I would like to consider it first.
Oh, yeah, sure. That seems only fair. Why don't you consider it here while Team Purple and all friends, allies, and honorary members take off in this here ship and sail for friendlier shores.
So you mean to leave me behind if I do not join your group?
Oh, no. You read me all wrong. I thought that we were all in kind of a hurry to get out of here, and you seemed like maybe you didn't want to hang out with us anymore, and I didn't want to pressure you or anything, so I was just gonna leave you to make your choices while the rest of us go make ours.
Being as this is the only currently viable option as to leaving this place, I would very much like to go with you. However, if it is contingent upon joining your group, perhaps a longer discussion is necessary.
And then maybe we can come back for you when you're ready to make a decision.
Yes, well, let us consider the facts that I do know the two of you to be extraordinarily wary from what you've just gone through, while I myself have not had to do much other than study, work on my abilities, and gain my strength. So how about we call it a truce and leave together?
Mm-hmm. One more question for you there, Remy.
Of course.
You reckon it was all just coincidence that you got out and Kaius got turned into this here flesh book, yeah?
Coincidence? I don't think so.
Uh,
As I said, an opportunity arose and I took it.
Serendipity.
I had no idea what was going to happen.
Do you have any particular attachment to the book?
Of course.
Oh,
It is my friend, who I very much wish to see return to normal.
Your friend who betrayed you so long ago.
I have had a lot of time to come to terms with both what happened and where I was. And in that time I have realized that feeling sorry for myself serves no purpose.
If I was trapped in a book, I'd be pissed and I'd get more and more angry.
I'm sure you would. But where I was, there was no water, no food, and no sustenance really of any kind other than an endless supply of books, which was the only thing that kept me sane as the hunger and thirst continued to grow, but yet I did not perish. So after a time, the anger sort of subsides to, well, everything else.
Then crosses her arms. I just don't trust anyone anymore.
here's the thing, Zen. You shouldn't trust anyone. Least of all, you shouldn't trust yourself.
What?
Because just a small amount of bad luck can send you on a path where, even in your own body and inside your own mind, you find yourself doing things that you wish you wouldn't do and hurting people that you love and giving in to compulsions that don't come from you. Sort of like our buddy Kaius, you know.
Whatever you want to do, Nud, I don't care, as long as we get Cora back to normal.
Well, that's all I need to hear. All aboard for the Team Purple reunion tour.
I shall be below deck if you need me.
And, Remy,
Yes.
hang on tight to Kaius there. Yeah.
Of course. I shall keep Fletcher very close.
All right, tally-ho, let's get underway.
I assume I can drive?
I was hoping you would attempt to do that. You begin to go, well, tally ho, time to get the fuck out of here, and the boat kind of just like lightly sways before there's like a brief pause where you're like, go boat go. Yip. Eventually you hear creaking and groaning as you will the boat to move forward. And it slowly begins to creak forward towards this wall that you can see out of. And you go, like, it's getting to the point where you're gonna hit this like glass. And as you're thinking like, maybe we should stop, it begins to ripple as it touches this glass and phases through it. you all begin to move out. Oh, I'll wait for him to come back. There he is. You begin to move through this glass with this sail ship that's floating through the air, and you pass through, and it feels like cold, kind of like cold water, going through like a cold waterfall very briefly. As you like go through, all of you feel and see yourself go through the glass, and you see people below, like these little dots of people below in the pyramids freeze, and you hear some cheer. You can't see them for where you're at, but you've got like a heading, and your boat begins to basically slowly glide down. With this boat's capabilities, it is able to sail in water, and it is able to hover, but it cannot fly over like 5 feet. It's basically like levitating, like under the levitate spell. So it can't like shoot off into the air and fly, but it like basically floats. And because you're well above ground, as you exit this ziggurat, it begins to like kind of lightly float down as if under the effects of like feather fall. So you're not going to crash into the earth,
Right.
but it's not going to be able to fly at this height. It's going to like go down. It's going to move around like through the city, probably like a parade float if you go down into the city, or you can try to basically glide your way out of the city towards the ocean or sea.
As far as I know, we don't owe these guys anything, right? Like from what I heard
Not
of the like
really.
ritual we were participating in, it's done.
The only people who would be privy to any of the deets on that are dead.
Okay.
Or in a book. So, I would say Nud, as you understand it, like, you don't know these people anything. You know one is bad and one is like maybe okay, and they're all snake people.
All right. I'm just gonna head. Can I see the ocean from here? Like, are we on the coast?
You're high enough that you can see the ocean. Even in the distance, you can see like a little tiny speck of what the village that you got kicked out of, where it's probably at.
All right. Best as I can,
you can see the ocean.
guide us. I'm gonna try to put us on the ocean headed east.
Okay. So you're going towards Krissune then. Like trying to go towards like that. Because that's east. Or are you going out into the ocean, like away from the continent east?
Away from the continent east.
Oh shit.
Wait.
Uncharted territory.
No. Sorry. We're on the Parthas Isles, right? We're like.
You're on the Parthas Isles. If you were going out from the ziggurat, looking out to the ocean, like from the ocean, from where this place is, look, it's close to the shore. So let's look at the history of the world. I believe it's at.
Yeah.
The map is there.
Mhm.
So if you're looking at the Parthas Isles, the far right of the Isles, not quite at the very tip, but like right near it, where there's that little tiny extra little island, that's kind of like close to where you're at.
Okay.
The mainland would be north.
Correct. So if you went east, there is like a huge like mountainous plateau, and like that separates the world from like the Desert of Desolation.
Okay. To my knowledge, there's nothing on this like entire edge around the Desert of Desolation. There's no settlements. There's no people.
It's like a super like. Have you ever seen The Princess Bride?
Mhm.
It's like the Cliffs of Insanity.
Jesus. Okay.
It's like that, except for like once you get up there, it's like as far as you're aware, it is nothing but like craggy, like horribly monster infested, dangerous ass mountains, which then lead into a horrible desert which then leads into a dangerous territory of Krissune.
Okay, I'm gonna put us on a northeasterly bearing then. Toward
Okay, so there is
roughly Broken Hole Mall.
Okay. That is like a little peninsula. Let me see if I have notes on that, actually. I vaguely remember. Sometimes when I take notes and I write notes, I don't know if anybody else does this when they do D&D as like a DM, but like sometimes I get fucking just like absolutely shit-faced and then like make notes. And then I don't remember what they are, so it's kind of like a surprise to me sometimes. And I'm like, oh shit, look at what this asshole wrote. I don't have any notes on Broken Hole Mall, but that's okay. I'll make something up because I always do. Alright. You begin to lightly float down to the ocean. It's still early in the morning. You had begun this journey quite early. This test. And you hear some like more oohs and ahs as you begin to descend, like from people below, and yells and hoops and like hollers and gasps. But they fade away, and you begin to get closer and closer towards the sea. You begin to feel some of these palm trees scrape the bottom of the boat as you like kind of just barely clear it to get to the shore. But you do get there. And you do safely land in the water.
So we're not hovering; we're in the water.
You could choose to hover over the water if you wish.
I think I'll keep us out of the water.
Okay. Smart move. Probably due to an encounter with mer people. Radioactive mer people.
Can I, with my attunement, am I basically? Is the ship sentient?
You're controlling the ship.
Like, can I ask you questions?
It's not sent.
Or I'm picturing it kind of like Star Trek, where I like talk to the computer, and it's not sentient, but I can give,
Yeah. I wasn't planning on that, but I'll make an executive decision to let this be a character, to make the ship a character. Now I have to think of a name for the ship's AI. Let's go to Google Translate. And I'll make a name for you.
That reminds me of when my bard, Ash, was friends with that robot.
Yeah. Let's see. What's a space ass name?
Having fun over there, DJ? She's sleeping.
Ether.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I am actually having fun. I am painting.
You're in heaven. This is what Cora's doing in heaven.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go with... Oh, there we go. That's a weird-ass fucking name. Thanks, Turkish. This is the name that it basically tells you it is, like, telepathically. It doesn't have, like, a voice per se. But you basically have, like, integrated with the onboard AI. And it lets you know it is called the Gezenmek.
The Gezenmek, alright.
You can call the ship that, or you can call the AI that. It just refers to itself at, like, it's like, what's your name? And it's like this, I'm referred to as Gezenmek. And it's like, oh, what are you? It's like Gezenmek.
Gezenmek. Can you tell if we hit the water?
Would you like me to hit the
Oh,
water?
I would like you to keep us above the water as best you can.
Understood.
And
You feel the boat, begins to hover over the water. I'd say maybe it touched the water, and then like you're like, nah, get out of that, and it just like kind of like bloop.
Gez, buddy, can you tell if anyone other than the four of us are in contact with you?
There is only one user.
And what about my crew?
There are 2 life forms. And it pauses at 2 life forms, and you can feel like something whirling. Correction. 4 other life forms.
Yeah. Those are Team Purple. I'll introduce them to you on the way. Here's my question, though, as Gez. If anyone other than Team Purple or myself is aboard the ship, you'd let me know, right?
Alarm protocol is
That's the
initiated.
ticket.
Please tell me the users for the exception to the rule.
Well, myself. Yeah. 'Cause we're tight now. Yeah.
This user's name is.
Oh, Knud Knickerbocker.
This user's name is Knud Knickerbocker.
Got it.
And the other users.
Let me go find him. Hang on. Can I go and introduce Zen, Remy, and...
You go to try, they can't speak to Gezenmek. It's like you hear it telepathically.
I can,
And as you keep trying to, introduce them, Gezenmek just keeps repeating, there is only one user.
Yeah, but Team Purple, we're all in cahoots, right? The user is friendly with Team Purple.
Have Team Purple register at the command deck.
Yeah, okay.
I go and find Remy and Zen and say, bring them to wherever the command deck is, by my understanding.
Yeah, your understanding is, where you registered your handprint, that is the command deck.
Okay.
And, yeah, as you all are brought in there, Zen and Remy, you would see as the door closes behind, it's like a normal, oh, it's a ship. And as the door closes, the room turns into this kind of glossy black, almost like onyx, glossed onyx or marble wall that becomes transparent, and you can see the ocean out of it as if you're just in a floating cube with this kind of same black marble flooring and this kind of weird lectern in the middle with a handprint glowing scanner.
Right. So I'm just introducing Gezenmek here, our friend who's providing us transport. Make sure that Gezenmek here knows all of Team Purple. So, Zen, Gezenmek, Zen is going to introduce herself. Zen, just stick your hand on this little doohickey here.
Okay. Hi, I'm Zensika Flintfingers.
Registering. Team Purple.
Yeah, that's right.
Exception to the rule, Zensika Flintfingers.
Me, since you're honorary member of Team Purple, you go ahead.
Okay, she'll walk over, put her hand on, and Reminiculus Strand.
registering honorary Team Purple member. Whatever the thing, Remulekius, whatever the fuck it was, I'm not gonna repeat that shit. I don't know it. He does it in your voice. I'm trying to emulate. It's hard.
Remy, if you wouldn't mind, pop Kaius up there too, just in case, you get separated or something.
Just kind of look at Nud for a moment, but grab the book and place it on the thing and Kaius Fletcher.
Nothing happens.
This is OG Team Purple here, Gaz. You got to best recognize.
No user detected.
Oh, well, he's in there, so sort that out.
What about Cora?
It scans. Organic material detected. Sentience non-detected.
Oh, well, we're working on that.
Remy will pick the book back up.
We gotta register Cora too.
Yeah. Remy, give us a hand. We got to get Cora down here.
Okay, Remy, I will surely help you, but I'm not certain that a spelljammer is capable of registering a corpse as a user.
Cora is not a corpse.
I guess you're right. She's a statue.
That's right. She's our statue, and she's the leader of Team Purple.
Exactly.
Help us move her down here.
I find your use of present tense odd in this situation.
Oh, well, we're
Find
an
your
odd sort of
presence
gang.
odd in this situation.
That's what makes us Team Purple.
Kaius was right. You are quite rude.
Ugh, you're just the same, aren't you?
I suppose it would seem that way to a child.
Zen looks at Nud, just like exasperatedly.
Well, they were students and partners and colleagues and whatnot, so apples and trees or something. Let's go get Cora.
We will collectively convey Cora back to the command deck.
Okay. And then do what?
I don't know what position she's in, but we'll try to put her hand as close as possible to the little scanner.
Okay. Some things happen. There is a delay as Gezenmek tries to read it. Organic material detected. Sentience detected.
Yeah, that's Cora.
The lights in the room go red.
What's happening?
Haint detected. Lockdown procedure initiated. And you see the door outline disappear in this room as the lights go red. User, please step away from the haint.
Ed, what's going on?
Well, what is going on?
Please step away from the haint. As it begins to just repeat this over and over again, and the lights are still red. You begin to see, where's it at? You begin to see Cora's corpse shift and ripple and twitch. And you hear a snapping and cracking sound as Cora's, as you knew hers, head begins to move. And this sound like escaping air from like an airlock or like from like a like kind of like a shook up can of soda escapes.
Can I
mouth.
immediately, as that starts happening, dragon's breath that thing?
Yeah. I need Zen to make a dexterity saving throw against it, as well as this thing.
23.
You manage to jump out of the way as Remy holds up her hand and casts a spell and then shoots fire out of her mouth. This version of Cora puddles immediately and rushes towards like where the door was and hits the wall, and for a moment kind of like just like pushes up against like this corner and begins to get smaller and smaller, and you, Nud, hear in your head, containment breach, and it just repeats it over and over in your head.
I
And
try.
eventually, go ahead. What are you gonna try?
I was gonna try hold person on it.
You cast hold person. What is
On it, yeah.
What is the wording of hold person?
I was gonna say I don't think it's gonna work because I think it has to be humanoid.
Yes, it does not work. You gain information from that. Eventually, this puddle completely dissipates, and the lights in the room go. They don't go to like back from red, but they go like there's red, and like it begins to flash like back and forth between red and white, and then they all go white. Haint no longer detected. Containment protocol. And then it like freezes for a second. Containment protocol. Haint detected from user Zensika Flintfingers. Status contained. And it does fully go to white, and you see the door's outline reappear. Only Nud hears that.
What just happened, Nud?
You no longer have Cora's corpse, by the way.
Well,
Where's Cora?
Your perception is really good, isn't it, Zensika? Isn't it like 20 something?
Now it's 26. For passive is 26.
You hear something splash into the water of the ocean below you. After like that like puddle exited.
Is there like, can she like see over, or is she like enclosed? Is there a window?
There's like the walls are basically like transparent. Out like there's like lining that like you can see like where the walls are in this cube. Almost like almost like a wire cage. Like it's an illusion that like you would go up and have touched it, and, like you realize it is a wall, but the floor is not opaque.
Okay.
You don't see where this thing disappeared to, but you know it got into the water.
Nud, what's going on?
I'm trying to find it in my notes. Did I see the weird liquid metal enter them when we were in that laboratory place?
You did. Mm-hmm. Many, like, what was that, like, fucking 6 or 7 months ago? Yeah, you did.
Remy.
Yes.
Did you and Kaius talk about the Hygon Mountain journals?
He wrote of it.
Does the word haint mean anything to you?
Does it, Steve?
This is a history check. Yeah, history check. Because this would have been, you would have had, like, this isn't magical in nature necessarily, but, like, you would have had to have read it if you were going to know anything about it.
Make sure that's right. Okay. 13.
13. You know, like, that there's some sort of, like, from what your notes say, the only thing that you would be aware of, this word is associated, like it's been used from accountings of other like spell jamming like adventurers, or like I would say you probably have read journals of adventurers that were captured by Halatash at some point, that were like put here in like put there in the library. There are, you would know some rumors of the haint. They're essentially like, there's a term called haint infected space, and they're like sections that the GFC like completely like quarantined off, like have blockades, like watching it, so nothing can go in or out. Like even like a rogue asteroid is like blasted before it can go like through it. The only thing you know is whatever it is, the GFC like took it as seriously as Halatash, but was unable to like get rid of it, unlike this angry, unfeeling, insane god.
Okay, she'll immediately take 2 steps back from wherever Cora was just standing, or puddling. And she will... Yes, I have heard of them before, and if that thing was one of them, then we have just made a very large mistake.
Oh,
Indeed.
what if we still had one with us?
Then I would suggest you find a way to purge it from yourself quickly.
I'm sure I'm open to suggestions.
You're looking at the wrong person. I don't have the knowledge on how to get rid of them.
Get rid of what? What are you talking about?
Zen.
Your friend, and I assume more of you based on Nud's comment, was infected by a parasite, not of this world.
What are you talking about? And then she stops and remembers. Uh-oh.
Yes, indeed.
Well, what does it mean? What's gonna happen?
Nothing good, I can assure you.
In the spirit of candor between members and honorary members of Team Purple, I think our mutual friend Kaius might have had one of these taints.
What?
Yeah. When our buddy Cora and Zen here, Team Purple, really, we all
He had one on him?
yeah. Only it didn't melt out of him when he went flesh book.
Steve?
Yes.
What the?
I love being a DM. Yes.
Caius is with Halatash,
He sure is.
and Caius has a haint with him. Ergo, would Remy be able to piece together Halatash has a haint? Or even worse, a haint has access to Halatash.
I would say that you have like, I mean, like you as a player have that access to that information, and like Remy has like what 20 intelligence. I imagine that's like Hawking level intelligence, Einstein level intelligence. So yeah, I'd say she could piece that together. What that means, you don't necessarily know. But it probably isn't good.
You guys would just see Remy pause and just stand there.
In the spirit of candor among members and honorary members of Team Purple, I wonder if there's something you'd like to share with us about this turn of events.
It means an ever-infectious disease has just met an ever-hungry, all-consuming god. What exactly that means for the rest of us, I can't begin to fathom. But from what I read in my libraries, your gods were able to hold him back only barely. With this, perhaps it would be prudent for us to get the other mechanisms of this ship working.
You tell me what you want to have happen, and I'll tell Giz.
Leave? I don't think this world is safe anymore.
Well, it never was exactly a safe place, but if there's something we should be doing about that,
You said it's the GFC, right?
Correct. That would be the information you have access to. Yeah.
Well, anything short of informing the GFC of what's just transpired here, well, that's what need to be done.
Giz, buddy.
You feel like every time you mention its name, it quickly picked up on you, like have like shorthanded its name. The onboard AI does like you feel it buzz like to life as it like begins to kind of like
Yeah.
when you like say Alexa and then you hear like the bloop sound. It's like that.
Are you able to communicate with the EFC?
Scanning. Unable to send outbound messages.
Anything we could do to overcome this limitation?
Repairs are necessary.
Can you walk me through it?
You feel like it like whirling and beeping and thinking. Core power 2%.
How do we boost that core power situation?
Repairs are necessary.
Gathered that. I mean, you know anything about sustaining one of these things?
Steve?
Roll me a history check.
$17.
17 is pretty good. You would know that there is a group in the books, basically like in these journals, like you've like seen like basically like like we'll just call them spacers for like as adventurers, because that's a mouthful as like astral plane adventurers. We'll call them spacers. Spacers typically, like in the handful of journals you've seen of these, sometimes they have had damage to their ship, and you see a lot of like bitching and moaning about the exorbitant fees the USM like charges, and that if they had like a good like what's the word I'm looking for? They just call them like tech mechs. If they had a good tech mech like on board, they wouldn't need to go see the USM. But finding a tech mech is like a diamond in the rough sort of a situation. Like rarely do they leave the USM to go be spacers. So a lot of shit you're just like, I have to use context clues to figure out what the fuck that means. And I have no point of reference for a lot of it.
Not a lot, no. I can try.
Gez, buddy. Can we make it to the mainland on your 2%?
Power does not drain. 2% is the normal
Bonus.
capacity. Sustain 2%.
All right, Remy, we're gonna head for the mainland and try to get you into a new library and see if we can figure out how to get Gez here back into full force. Meanwhile,
Would you happen to know if me and Kaius's master is still around?
what now?
Our master, our teacher, do you know if he's still around? Master Raul?
I'm
If you're
looking through
talking
my
loud, I
notes.
can't
I
hear
know
you.
I know the name, but I don't know.
You would have heard Kaius mention it. But like Kaius's speech was very like,
Yeah.
well, you remember Kaius. So like he has a master named Master Raul, and that I would say the one thing he did mention to you all was like, because you were all like, man, you're really fucking weird. And he was like, my master says all good wizards are weird. And that was kind of like really all I remember Kaius telling you about his master.
Kaius did talk about Master Raul, but never really got to his current situation of being alive.
I would say if we wanted to talk to anyone about potentially finding a way to fix this ship, it's a good place to start.
And where would you say we should go looking for him?
Fuck, I forgot the place's name.
I believe you were from. I believe Kaius and subsequently Remy were from Glow Hollow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so he would be in Glow Hollow.
He's in Glow Hollow.
Oh, cool. That's gonna be right on the way then.
Do you know where
Yes.
Glow Hollow is?
I absolutely
Does
know
Nud know where Glow Hollow is? Yeah, it's okay. Just making sure.
Other fucking side of the map.
Like literally the other side, like almost the farthest. There's only 2 places farther away than that.
If you could get me to a scroll of sending so I could transfer the spell into my book, I could reach out to Master myself. And perhaps he could meet us somewhere. He does have a teleportation circle within his chambers.
I will see what I can do. Why don't you and Zen find some quarters and make yourselves at home, and me and Gez will make our way to the mainland.
Exceptions to the rule of Team Purple. Zensika Flintfingers and user Remy, please follow guides to quarters. And you see like the lights on the ground begin to like usher like from like movie theater style like glow on the ground like pathways.
Well, that's handy.
Zen follows. She's very quiet now that Cora's statue is gone.
User Knud Knickerbocker. Incoming transmission. Would you like me to allow it through?
Please.
You hear a message in your mind from a spell. Sending spell. It's not something you're unfamiliar with. Knud Knickerbocker, this is the initiative squad administrator. Please give a status of your team.
Team Purple status report. Knud Knickerbocker and Zensika Flintfingers, alive and well, headed to Mythathlede. Team Purple leader Cora Stormwurm died honorably in the execution of her office. Team Purple member.
You feel like after like about midway through that, like the magic ends from like your spell, like it sends off, like cuts you off mid-sentence. Like it's got 25 words. You get a reply back fairly quickly after. Only 2 surviving members noted. Team Purple also noted, headed to Mythalinda. Please stand by for further instruction. You could respond if you want, if you have anything further.
One. Raminculus Strand, current acting member. Team Purple.
There's no response. Okay, so I will give you a quick blurble. The way that this works for this ship is it is like a sailing ship. It's hovering currently over the water, but its speed is the same. Excuse me. It has it can have a total of 11 crew. It has an armor class, which I'll put all these stats in the chat. Its speed is 8 miles per hour.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone has the book. I assume maybe not. So I will send a picture of. Oh, I hate when you turn your camera on and it's like reverse and you see your fucking like your horrid face staring back at you. I'm gonna post a picture of the the layout. I'll post that in character images because Gezenmek's a character now. This is the default ship that it the layout it uses. It doesn't have the wings, the fin, or the big nose or the legs. It looks like a small sailing ship for all intents and purposes, as it's quote unquote camouflage. But yeah, what would you like to do?
I think we're gonna take a rest while Gez carries us back toward land.
Okay. Is anybody doing anything on this? Like, because it's gonna take you like 2, 3. It's gonna be a couple days on the water.
Can I try to get Gez to give me more? Can I use Gez as a source of information? I guess really I want to know.
You could try. Yeah, you could certainly like attempt to like try to gather information that like if you have questions that Gez's database would reasonably have, I will
Okay,
allow you to
then-
question Gez as an NPC.
Well, that was my thing. I don't want to abuse it.
In my hubris. I mean,
Okay.
listen, you're a D&D player. Abuse away.
Yeah, I think I'll spend
I'm never
the
gonna learn
duration
otherwise.
learning what I can about Haints and about Halatash.
There is no information on Halatash. I can tell you that off the bat. The ship has no record of anything by the name of Halatash. It basically asks you if you want to send out an inquiry,
Yeah.
which I'm assuming you'd probably respond yes, which it would then say communications down, like unable to do so. Haints, however, it basically it doesn't give you much more information other than there is security protocol to contain, and then in the event containment is breached, GFC is notified. It then tells you failure to notify GFC communication systems down. Distress SOS to GFC in queue.
All right.
So it's basically telling you the second it's able to send a distress
Okay.
beacon to the GFC, it's like it will.
I think other than that, Nud's just gonna hang out in the captain's quarters, working on composing the ballad
It
of
fully
Cora.
furnishes. It is fully furnished. You may begin doing that. What is Zen doing?
Zen has found her quarters and she has curled up into a tiny ball and she is just crying.
I would say at a certain point you hear like scratching and like pecking at your door.
At first she's like confused because her mind is in one place and then she realizes what she's hearing. She jumps up and opens her door.
You see Edgar.
Edgar! She like hugs him and
You go to squeeze him, he's like, ah!
sorry. She pets him. Cora's gone.
You see there's a note. Like Edgar just kind of like tilts its head at you. There is a note attached to his like foot.
She takes the note.
There is a note. It is written basically in like very like kind of like, what languages do you speak again? Do you speak Goblinoid? Yeah, it's in Goblinoid. That would be who your contact would have been writing back and forth in. Basically, you get told like, sorry, you're shit out of luck. We don't have the resources to send anybody out to the Parthas Isles. What the fuck are you even doing there? Question mark. And then it says, your bird is fucking creeping us out. Please send a different bird next time. And then it basically asks when you'll be back to the mainland. And then it actually says sorry, already sent message to the other Flintfinger senior for assistance. Won't tell them of your involvement.
Okay. She reads it a couple of times and is progressively getting angrier each time she reads it. And
You've essentially asked like a ragtag band of mercenaries like on the other side of the fucking world, hey, send us resources, and they're like, we're 12 guys in a cave. Like, oh, thanks for someone doing that. Who did that? Who dared? No, for reals, who did that?
I know, like, Norm left and came back, but I don't know how the music suddenly started.
Did it start because like you came back, or did you actually start it for me? Well, if you did it, you have a point of inspiration. Then no one gets it. I guess it was just random.
weird.
But yeah. Yeah, very weird. Quacky Beats has been weird. I'm glad it's at least working. It didn't work the last time we played, remember? All the bots were fucking losing their shit, except for Craigbot for once.
Since Zen has been through the ringer this last day, she's got like no perspective. So she just takes this note. She tells Edgar, "You did a good job. Thanks, Edgar." And then she tears the note up and just like scatters it, and then goes back to her bed or her cot, curls up, and just lying there, staring off into a void.
Very good. What is Remy doing?
Remy is gonna spend the time trying to get in contact with Kaius, like trying to remember anytime Kaius was able to reach her, like what happened, what was going on, and just trying different things.
So you're writing to Kaius.
Attempting to, yeah.
What are you writing specifically?
At first it's just like, can you hear me? Are you there? Like Kaius ? Like trying to reach out to him.
You get back one response. 2 words. It hurts. And then it fades. And that's the only response you get.
Could I write, can you help me?
You get back 1 word. How?
I will just write knowledge.
You get back another question. It's just a question mark.
All right. Spelljammers.
There's some time. You see like the beginning of like ink on the page, as if like a quill is pressed up against it. And then it starts to write. And this time you get more than a 1-word response. There's nothing here but books. I've been here for days. There's nothing but books. I'm so hungry. The thing inside me ran off and it took my arm with it. I've got my mind back, but I feel I'm going to lose it again. What are spelljammers? Can they get me out?
All right. I'm here. I'm going to help. Possibly. We need this info. Begin searching.
You get a response back. I will begin looking between trying to find food and others.
I will write back. There is none of either. You have only me. But I will get you out.
You don't get a response after that.
Okay, she'll just kind of close the book. And know exactly what's happening to him.
Yeah, but maybe worse.
That's all.
Has anybody seen the anime Parasite?
I think I've seen clips from it. It's really gory, right?
Yeah, like basically like a parasite comes in and takes like a port, like they take over a host body, except for like the protagonist, like the parasite doesn't want to do that. And it's like, that's a really fucked up thing to do. Like, I just want to like survive, so it takes over like the arm of its host. And then like at the end of the anime, like it leaves, but it has to take the arm with it. So that's how I'm imagining Kaius. But yeah. The next day, everyone is dealing with feelings. But the next day rolls around. You get another notification from Gezenmek. Incoming message. Would you like to allow it through? User Knud Knickerbocker. Are you there? He's having some audio issues. Oh, he has to leave. Come back. Still can't hear you if you're talking. Can anybody else hear him?
I can't hear him.
You're lighting up.
I heard something.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't get it.
That is annoying.
Weird. I don't have that issue. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
kind of headphones are you using?
The headphones are
They're
Bluetooth,
Bluetooth,
but the
though.
microphone is hardwired.
Oh.
I don't know, man. I can't. The app is giving me grief. The
Weird.
browser's giving me grief.
I would like Bluetooth headphones.
Kind of fuck with everything.
Are they like
No,
iPod or
they're,
like AirPod headphones like that?
I don't know what.
I'm
Like
wondering
over,
if
like
real
over here,
headphones.
full headphones.
I'm wondering if like I'm wondering if they're like registering and being like, hey, this thing has a mic, and like it actually doesn't, and so like it's not registering your mic that's like attached to your computer, and it's trying to use a mic that doesn't exist in
Maybe.
your
I
Bluetooth
don't know,
headphones.
man. Like I have it set to the right mic,
'Cause that's
but
what
then
it
it just
sounds like
sometimes
is
doesn't
happening.
pick me up.
Yeah, Bluetooth is weird when it because it'll like disconnect and reconnect occasionally. Like I had Bluetooth headphones very briefly, and it was like, fuck these, I'm going wired. I'll never go unwired. As annoying as wires can be, I value the sound. So they would disconnect and reconnect all the time, And sometimes they would say they're connected and they weren't, and then I wouldn't hear anything. So Bluetooth fucks shit up.
I mean, mine are Bluetooth, but they've got like a big USB that like plugs into my computer.
Yeah.
And I've never had any problem with these. The ones I had before, like when I was trying to use like my Google, like my Pixel Buds, or any like little ones like that, like it was always cutting out. People couldn't hear me, or it would just like stop suddenly.
Well, we can hear you now. Basically, the computer
yeah.
wanted to know if you want this incoming message. Basically, you get told, this is the initiative once more. You'll meet in Hraustrow at the Green-Eared Bar and Grill for a new team member. For 2 new team members. Be on the lookout for 1 Fae and 1... what was the other name? It was... Don't tell me who it was, person. I'll find it. I'll find it eventually. It started with an A. You told Faye and Adria to meet them in Hraustrow at the Green-Eared Bar and Grill.
Okay. Green-eared?
They also would tell you necessary arrangements for those KIA have been made. Notified next of kin, essentially.
Who do we just lose?
That was Val. She
Oh.
said she might pop in and try to listen tonight as well. Maybe there she is again. Yeah, she's just here to listen and so she can hear stuff going on, kind of like how Faye is here. But
Okay, I was like, everyone's here. Who did we lose?
yeah,
So, if possible, I want to try to set a course to Christ. Urgilgazar? Urgilgazar?
Urgil Gazar. So you would get to the shore after a couple days, and your ship essentially, like begins to hover over it. It questions if you want, like it basically says like, you know, your camouflage is going to be ineffective, but like it just continues. So it looks just like a floating ship across the goddamn.
Yeah, that's fine. They don't have a problem with magic here, right?
No,
That's okay.
it's just weird to see a floating boat, maybe. But I mean, you know, it's Magic World. Shit's weird. Probably explain it away. So you're going to stop in
Yeah, I figured that was
Urgil
just
Gazar?
like the nearest place while still broadly going in the right direction.
Yeah. You get there, it is a mostly you get a ton of like eyes on you all. You're stopped by like the guards at first, before you potentially like show your badges and like who you are, and they let you go, but like they're like maybe you should leave your fucking floating boat out of sight of the city. It is a mostly farming, like town. It looks like that's pretty much all that. There's like a small tavern, but it's mostly a farming town.
Do I need to stock Gez with provisions? Yeah, just to
What do
keep
you
us
mean with
going.
provisions? Like for food and stuff like that? You need
Just
that
meant,
for
like,
you. Gez does not need that.
The ship isn't already providing it for us. Like, we're gonna have to.
No, it's
Okay.
not like it's not giving you like synthetic food, like hologram
Alright.
meatloaf, you know.
I guess I would have explained on the way then that this is the nearest port, quote unquote, and we're gonna go looking for like the general store or the butcher or whatever to try to stock up for an overland journey. But no, the people.
Okay, you told like Gez that.
Zen and Remy.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
I guess on the edge of town we'll disembark and I'll go looking for some noms.
Okay, let's take a quick bio break here. We'll reconvene momentarily.
Cool, cool.
Cool.
I am back.
I'm back.
Popcorn. While I peed, I made popcorn because wine goes good with popcorn.
I beg to differ.
White wine usually goes better with popcorn, but I didn't buy any white wine. Like a dry wine in general goes with it, but
Popcorn and pickles.
ew. Heathen.
Say what you will, but I had a friend introduce it to me in high school, and it's actually a lot better than you'd think it would be.
It just sounds like it'd be too salty. Like
You'd think
I
so.
I would try dill, like flavored popcorn, maybe, but I don't.
It's just
popcorn.
straight up pickles or popcorn and like sliced like pickle chips, like all thrown in there.
No, thank you.
It works. I'm telling you.
I think fried pickles are great.
Like a
I
friend.
do like fried pickles too.
Fried pickles are the shit. The only place that I found around here that does good ones is B-Dubs.
B-dubs. Where's that?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Everyone I know, and granted they're all military, calls it B-Dubs.
Me and DJ had a Valentine's Day at Buffalo Wild Wings one time.
Nice.
She was
It
not
It
happy.
was not nice.
Wow.
I would like to preface, it was our first time, like our first Valentine's in the city. I grew up in a little country town, so coming up here, I did not realize we had to make reservations.
My wife and I
Not
don't really,
nice.
My wife and I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day because we consider it a commercial holiday. So like we'll still do like it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, we'll cook like an intimate dinner and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, I cook dinner always, so it's kind of like, oh, this is just like a normal day. So we'll get each other. What we like to do is like after Valentine's Day when everything's on sale, that's when we celebrate it. Mostly because I like chocolate. I'm like a
To be
slut for
good.
chocolate and wine. My wife and I often joke that in our past lives, she was definitely a man and I was definitely a woman. Because I love to cook and clean, and the idea of being a stay-at-home, like, trophy house husband is, like, so appealing to me. And she's like, I just want to work. I'm like, I feel the opposite of that. If I could just be hot and put out, I would never work.
Feel that.
There you go.
Right?
I did like probably 8 straight hours of Pokemon today.
Nice. I Googled it some stuff and I looked at the Pokedex and I was like, oh, none of the new Pokemon really. There's like 3 Pokemon, the new Pokemon. I'm like, those are good, and the rest I'm like, those are kind of trash.
Really? I love almost all of the new ones.
I feel like I think it's because like I look at a lot of like artist versions of like Fakemon and I'm like, these are all so good, and then I see what like Nintendo actually puts out and I'm like, man, get your shit together, Game Freak.
Yeah, I got on mute for this conversation.
This Pokemon is a bunch of like, I'll never forget when they made a bunch of jangly keys of Pokemon, and I'm like, man, fuck you, Game Freak.
Okay, I my comeback to that is always like, because I don't like Klefki either. My comeback to that is always like, in Gen 1, there was a literal pile of shit. That's a Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Yeah.
I
But I
think
mean, like,
Pokemon purposefully makes like shitty Pokemon so that like the cool ones will stand out. That's my
it's
crackpot
almost,
theory.
it's almost like they have a favorite child, and so they make their other children extra garbage, so that way you
Uh-huh.
love their favorite children. I feel that.
you see, I like a lot of the really shitty ones. Like, they're the ones I love the most.
I don't know. I thought about making a team of just shitty Pokemon where it's like, oh, jangly keys, a literal fucking ice cream cone. Like,
I made a whole team of food one time. It was like 5 Pokemon that were all made of food, and then the last one was a Snorlax.
That's funny. I do like Snorlax is one of my favorite OG Pokemon, just because he looks like a really big fat cat. And when I was young and was into Pokemon, I had a really big fat cat.
There you go.
And I was like, look, it's my cat.
Also, I love the new Wooper because it's
Oh my god.
modeled after an Oxalotl. And it's brown though, like this one's brown. So I named it Chocolotl.
Nice.
It's adorable, and I love its evolution.
I'm
Evolution
mad.
kind of looks like the chocolate bars from Winco.
A little bit.
I
My
like
opinion.
evolutions, and I'm mad that there's not another evolution.
Yeah. I don't know if there's going to be another one.
I hope there's not. I hope that they're done. New Pokemon. So mad. I don't know. I'm a little salty. I'm glad I didn't just buy it.
What are your
debating
thoughts? Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. That was my thought.
Oh, I was going to ask what your thoughts were on like the Mega Man X boss Pokemon.
I don't like it.
You don't like them?
It looks cool, don't get me wrong, but when I look at it, I'm like, I think Steve put it really good yesterday. I'm like, we're getting dangerously close to like Digimon territory.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, get this Digimon shit out of here.
Yeah,
Not like
they're-
remotely animalistic. They're literally just like human creatures with
Yeah,
weapons.
they fully need to listen, Game Freak. If you're gonna do this, just hire furry artists. Just do everyone a favor. Like, would I rather have your guy look like a Digimon, or would I rather your Pokemon be fuckable? Like, let's be real.
No, I don't like them that much. But like I said, most of the new ones I'm actually really liking. There's a few that I'm like, could have done without that one.
Do you have a favorite?
So
Or
far
a couple favorites?
so far I really love Fido. I named mine Purebred.
Fucking nice.
I got my Chocolotl. The Pikachu clone in this one I actually really like because it's got like those big like beefy arms and it's like a fighting type. So I named it Popeye.
I would really love it if it had a Pikachu head and a Machamp body.
Oh my god.
Just get silly as fuck with it.
I learned Primeape has an evolution in this one, so I grabbed a Mankey too.
It's got like a ghost evolution, it looks like.
I named it Shadowboxen.
Nice.
I went with Fuecoco as my starter, and I named it Habanero.
Coco's second stage evolution, his second stage evolution looks so derpy, and I kind of like him.
Second
for
evolutions
that.
always look like, like I'm in like the weird adolescent stage.
That's why I love him, though. The little hat, I'm like, I'm here for it.
I really want to if I get it, I'm gonna get the grass starter for sure. I used to always get the fire starter, but I'm just like, I haven't been interested in them really. But I'll get the grass starter and probably name it I don't know, Gay Antonio Banderas or something. That's what it makes me think of is a more flamboyant Antonio Banderas.
I feel like everybody online has been hating on the grass starter evolution, but I really like it.
They hate it because, and I agree with them, I also hate it for this reason. I love it and I hate it. Because it needs to stay on 4 fucking legs.
Yeah, I was pretty mad when I saw that. Because literally everyone, when they saw it, when they first announced it, they're like, oh, I hope it stays on.
Yeah, keep the wheat cat on all 4s.
Yeah, keep it. And then, literally the second evolution stands up, and it's like, God damn it, Game Freak.
At least they didn't make the fire starter fighting again.
That is true.
I was so mad at Incineroar because I saw a Fakemon that made it look so fucking cool. like it looked like a fucking jaguar, like a longer, like kind of like a long, like fiery, like dark jaguar. And I was like, that's fucking cool. I hope that's what it looks like. And it's like, nope, a luchador cat. And it's like, all right, like you're not gonna hire a furry artist for that. Even like you're gonna make it just look like Machamp with like a cat head. Come on.
Gotta have them furry bait characters.
But it's not even good furry bait.
I don't know. I feel like the internet's really into Incineroar.
You said that in a way that made me think you're really into Incineroar.
No hate.
Between the
Yeah, I mean,
three
like,
of those,
Respect. I mean, like, listen.
I don't know. I
I
kind of
do like Incineroar's design. But,
I'm a
I
little
like
bit.
the Decidueye.
I like strong. I like a strong partner. Like, I was playing Cyberpunk. I don't know if anybody else has played Cyberpunk. Has anybody here played it at all?
I have watched many videos about it, but I haven't played it, so I know a lot about it.
There's a set of side missions called Beat the Brat, and it's basically like a bare knuckle boxing, like sort of like side quest. You have to go through each of like the districts and like fight their like person that's like going up like the champion, and then you fight like an actual like boxing, like a boxing legend essentially. And there's one person you fight along the way, and her name is Rhino, and she's like, no, we don't take bets, like we don't put money on this, like we're just fighting to fight. And she's actually a pretty difficult fight. And I'm like, she's just like a big, strong, angry woman, and I'm just like, why isn't she a romance option? We have so few romance options in Night City. Give me Rhino.
What mods are for.
Right? I want her.
Have you watched Edge Runners yet?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
It's what made me want to like start playing it again.
the big buff lady was my favorite character.
Who?
The big buff lady.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm either like I really want a really big buff lady, or I want an angry small gremlin. I'm a Rebecca stan.
Oh yeah.
Lucy sucks.
Are we all back?
Yep.
Are we? Cora, are you back? To listen at least.
Yup.
Cool.
Okay, I can mute. Get back to.
Yeah, so Nud, you went into the town and you're just getting provisions?
I mean,
Are you
I
looking
want
for
provisions
stuff? Or
to
what are you
sustain us
trying
on
to
the
get
journey,
here?
But as long as I'm in town, can I see if they have a temple or shrine or any kind of religious, landmark?
Yeah, they have a small. They have a church. Every place you've gone to, well, you haven't been to a lot of places in Christian. This place does have a small church. It's for it is a church of the same god, whose name is Millendoff. Basically the way that it works in Krissune, and I'd say you would know this. This is super common knowledge when it comes to religion. And you worship a ton of gods to hedge your bets, so to speak. But they worship Millendoff, and they worship different they worship different aspects of her. So like there'll be like a Millendoff, and like she basically her image is her holding like a bunch of moons, and like one like holding a moon in each hand, and then a moon above her head floats basically, which in statue form basically just looks like the moon is like on her head, like being balanced. And the color of the moon basically denotes like which aspect that clergy worships. And this one would be painted like green for like fertility and for harvest, because they believe she is the true god, or goddess rather.
Okay. I'll enter this church then. And I don't know if they do if they have like a tithing box or something, or if I would have to talk to one of the practitioners. Okay. I'm gonna go
There's a
put
box,
50
yeah.
gold into the box.
Oh, goodness. Okay. It's like a 1 coin per, like slot, and you hear it's like, it sounds fairly empty. There's like 1 or 2 coins at the bottom of it, and you begin slotting coin after coin after coin. And, like, clergy member kind of look at you, and one approaches you, like it's a high elf. Do you have something to get off of your chest, traveler?
Oh,
You
no,
don't have
no.
to
If I had to,
donate
then
so
it wouldn't be
much.
a sincere donation, right? Oh, no, I just...
Oh, of course. I just didn't know if you look like you're an outlander, and we wanted to make sure you weren't trying to pay for a service.
Service? No, no, no. I
Need
see
it.
that you're paying homage to the aspect of the harvest, and being an agrarian town in this harsh and foreboding region of the world, I thought, hey, let's have a good harvest, eh?
They just kind of smile and politely nod at you and kind of back away. And leave you to keep
As I
slotting
fill it, I'll just say
coins.
like a little bit of a generic prayer to the Lindolf, and then gonna be like, hey, I'm here for food, but I want to make sure that the food keeps coming, sort of thing.
Roll me a religion check.
$17.
Okay. I will say you begin to get food and provisions, and as you go to some of these places, like, they're getting ready to kind of like throw out some stuff, not because it's bad, but because like
Oh, gotcha.
it's not like it's not selling. And so I'd say like with like what you don't pay for. I'd say like for provisions to get to Kraustra, like you won't pay for anything. They're just like, take it, and like if you try to pay, they're just like, no, like that's not
I'll
how
be
this
very
works. We were
gracious and
literally
just kind of
throwing it away.
wish each of them like a happy harvest and a bountiful retail of their goods, or whatever the vernacular is.
Yeah, you become very. I would say that you become fairly well received in this town, which is maybe not the normal for Knud. It's you have to do less plying, and there's less work involved with being liked here. It seems like the people here are very like open, honest, and blunt, and as long as you are the same way, they're like, you are very well received. Your earnestness is not lost on these hardworking people.
I think once I've gotten the provisions that we need, I'll retreat to the captain's quarters until the rest of my team says they're ready to go.
Rest of the team, is anybody doing anything in this town? As you guys parked here, Ned went off to go get provisions. Did anyone else go into town or do anything?
Remy will stay on the ship and just kind of wait.
Zen is a moody teenager in a dark room.
Okay.
Alright, then we'll set sail. I'll sing a little song of farewell and have Gez pull us up. I want to go toward Shim-Tatai.
Let me pull up the map. I will say, as you begin to sing, you Gez asked if you would like it recorded.
Yes, Gez. I would very much like for you to record it.
It records you singing. You're gonna go
Right.
So I'll say like Kraustra is straight north.
Yes.
You're gonna try to go to Shim-Tatai. Okay. It's gonna take you several days to go to Shim-Tatai.
I would like to spend the duration of the journey talking to Remy, basically just trying to hear what Kaius was like before everything went to hell, and learn about the kind of like research or scholarly work or whatever the hell they were doing together.
I'll let you roleplay that out. Unless you don't want to.
I can.
Sure.
I can. If you want to. Okay. Jill, what did you want to know about?
Didn't really get to know the real Kaius, It was clear he was smart and very well trained in the arcanic arts, but there's kind of something in the way.
Yes, he was incredibly
Yeah,
smart.
he did.
He loved odd things. But he also had a penchant for shortcuts. Cheats and ways to gain more knowledge and power quicker. Which is how I would assume Halatash was able to take him so easily. I always tried to warn him that it would catch up with him eventually.
You said that he had to make a sacrifice to sort of seal the deal with Halatash. So do you reckon
Yes?
he knew the sacrifice would be you?
I don't know. I would like to think he didn't. At least not while he was in his right state of mind. I knew Kaius all my life, and I just don't think it's something he would have done. Not
I
entirely
think you're
willingly, at least.
What was it you were looking for when this book turned up?
It was a ruin we had found. Or at least the research we were a part of had found. Kaius and I were the only ones there that day, and we'd found a small antechamber that had been previously overlooked. I suggested that we go back and get assistance, find Master Raoul, but Kaius wanted to continue forward. Well, you know how that played out.
And about this Master Raoul. Was he old or infirm, or what made you wonder if he was alive?
Infirm? No. Old? Yes, but it's not his physical state I worry about. Well, not his reason for death, I should say. He was always pushing the boundaries.
What about you? What's your
Wizards
deal?
don't tend to live
once
long
we get
lives.
Kaius back in his right form and in right mind, pick up where you left off, or open a school, or what's the plan?
I've read a lot. How much I can't even begin to fully understand. It would seem time over there moves differently. I had a lot longer. There are things that I know that if we do end up contacting the JFC, I'm not entirely certain I'll be allowed to stay here. At least not in a unsupervised capacity.
Who is this GFC? What do you know about these cats?
I'm honestly not certain of how much
Very
I'm
well.
allowed to speak about that. What I've seen, they have fairly strict rules. And my knowledge on them isn't exactly expansive. I read what I could find, pieced together what I could. Most of it, though, is an unsolved puzzle. But I can tell you that there are laws and powers that dwarf anything we have here.
I will hand Remy the journals that I've been conveying. I forget what they're called. Agrimius Ulysses books.
Journal. Oh. Agrimius.
I don't know how much of this made it into you when you were a book, but Kaius transcribed this for me a couple times, and it seems to have something to do with the naughty goop that got into Cora and Zen, and that you're worried about. So maybe it'll mean something different to you.
Okay, Remy will take it and begin reading through it.
This is essentially I would say you would have known of the name, like, just briefly from your studies. Kind of like how, like, most people know who Alexander the Great was, but maybe don't know all his exploits. Like, this dude is a founder of, he's kind of like a father of transmutation magic. I guess, like, he's more akin to, like, how, if you're going to go into physics, like, how you're going to learn about Einstein, sort of a situation, or mathematics. Like, he's
Okay.
kind of like that. Like, he's sort of like not a mythical figure, but he's like the father whose shoulders we stand upon.
And Kaius sent all of the works that he had transcribed and everything he'd thought, and all of their findings to Raoul.
I believe that's correct, yeah. And he was like, I think Raoul was just like, I don't know any more than what you know, like any more than I taught you.
I know the last thing he said to me is like, because I tried to reach out to him, he's like, I'm too busy, like, just
He's like, I'm
send
busy.
it to me.
I'm busy. Show up, basically, is what he said. He's like, show up here so I can examine you, because like Caius was like, I've got like a thing that like he had, and he was like, well, I need to see it. He's like,
Okay.
show up and I'll take a look.
Cool. Okay, then I'll definitely read them through and see what I can find, but again, this might be beyond my capabilities right now. If Caius was unable to decipher, I'm not certain I'll be able to do much more.
Do you have any idea why anyone in Nosai would be interested in this nonsense?
I'm sorry, I don't know much
This
over the
might be
political affairs
somewhat
of the land.
subpolitical. Here's the deal. I met a guy, and he gave me this and said he'd pay a pretty hefty bounty if we could convey it to Nosai. It's gotten us into a little bit of trouble along the way. But the coin we can pull from this might go a long way to helping us get the right people to help us out with the Haints and your little flesh book and Kaius and, well, really everything, so.
If it was Agremius they were after, I'm not surprised. He was well known for his transmutation work in the field. However, if it's the hates they are after, then perhaps these.
You cut out there.
I lost him.
Hello? Okay, I was like, no one was responding. I was like, am I in the Twilight Zone?
I think my headphones died.
Yep, there we go. That's what I thought happened. Or maybe you got disconnected. Or
You said if
had
they're
to
interested in the
forget.
Haints, then
What was the last you heard?
perhaps.
Oh, if they're interested in the Haints, perhaps they are
Cool,
someone we
cool.
should pay a visit to. Either way, we should get your friend, the rude one, to Master Ryu for study and research.
How's about we pit stop over in Nosai, and then beeline it up to Glow Hollow?
Sure. Don't we need to go to Hraustrow?
Yeah, you were told to meet up with more members of like a conglomerate team. Like you were going to be absorbed. You were absorbing more members in
So
Hraustrow.
my thought was in
For the
character
initiative.
going to Nosai to dump the book before we get new people into trouble. But if out of character we need to go there to get the rest of the people in the game, then we can go there.
So you're right now, like it looks like you're going out of your way already to Shimitai, which is an underplane, which is quote unquote my world's version of like the Underdark. It's like an underplane city.
Yeah.
It's like a full city. So I'm not sure what you're going to Shimitai for, but I mean, if
No,
you're
I
looking
was
for
trying to
something,
take
like
a
there's
straight
stuff
line
there
from
to like dick around
Regional
with.
Bazaar to Nosai.
Oh no, it's. So
I
if
was
you look
hoping
at
we
the
could
map,
float
Shimitai is
over
like
them.
surrounded by mountains, and it goes under it. I mean, like it's not like it's not like you can't just like float over the mountains. Like you're gonna get caught on shit. It's not as you're levitating to a degree, yes, but it's like going up mountains is still going to be like it's gonna take you a long time. If you wanted to go straight to Nosai, you would be like taking weeks, and you would pass through Mythalinda at some point. Mythafilda at some point, and it like you're just gonna float through the capital, which is probably not gonna go. I'd say
Okay.
Nutty would even
then
probably
scrap
even
all
realize
of
that's probably not gonna go super well. To be a floating ship coming across the mountains into the capital city probably
head
wouldn't be
straight
well
north,
received. Because I would say geographically, you could do one of two things if you wanted to go like straight to Nosai. There's no beelining in Krissune because of the territory. Kind of one of the main reasons that they went to war in the first place. Is they have a very harsh country they've made work. They're horrible to try to invade, which they've proven time and time again, but they also do not want, like, they do want better resources. The best way to get to Nosai would be either to go up to Hraustrow, go across the border of Sanduuin, and then down into Nosai, which would be honestly the quote-unquote less treacherous path. Or going through, if you look up, like, right past Shimitai, up a little bit north, you can cut right, and then you'd have to choose either going north up towards Bulium, or down towards Blood Basin.
Given that I have the
Nosai.
sort of political knowledge that I shouldn't just go floating through the capital, I think I'll take the due north to Hraustrow and then go from there.
Yeah, you could totally go to the capital. It would take some schmoozing, But like, you're not gonna necessarily. I'd say Nud's not like. I don't think you'd be totally worried about like I'm gonna cause a
Yes.
war, but like you're gonna have people be like, all right, what's this floating boat? Like, what's your fucking deal? Like, we're gonna need you to answer some questions, and then like you're probably gonna be okay to leave. But
Sounds like the safe bet, though, is like heading just like up to
yeah,
Heraustrow.
you're not gonna attract as many eyes going up to Heraustrow. Because there is no other place between the farming like kind of town city and Heraustrow. Like, you have to take detours to both get to Shimitai and Perlawan, which isn't technically a city. That's like a hike, like a couple days hike, basically like up an Everest style mountain to a monk monastery of Perlawan, which you would know
Right.
of because you
Right.
had a friend who was from there.
I'll
Past
put us on that course then.
I killed them.
No, north.
Are you still going to Shimitai to do anything?
If nothing
or-
disrupts us,
Okay.
I will want to park
Um,
outside Perlawan.
you wouldn't really be able to park
Yeah.
outside of Perlawan.
That's what I mean.
You'd be able to park at the base of the mountain. And I'll say you'll know, like, your ship basically, like, if it goes into orb mode, no one can enter it as long as, like,
Right.
they are not quote-unquote registered and you were alive. As long as you live, no one can, like, force their way into the orb. Which, you know, is both a blessing and a curse. Depends on how bad someone wants to get in that orb. But you're going straight to Heraustrow. Is anything happening on the journey to Heraustrow that you want to RP? Like, are you going to talk to anybody? Are you stopping anywhere? Talking with each other? Anything like that? You don't have to. I don't want to just jump ahead if you know.
Nud
You
is
wanna do
not
shit.
going to get into Zensika's business or like enter her quarters. Once he feels like he's got a fairly good rendition of the Ballad of Cora the Purple, he will start going out and like singing it on the bow and kind of building some embellishments and just kind of getting it performance ready to sing her story to her people.
Nice. Your ship.
It'll be like
Towards it,
Nud
if
in
you
the
would like it
studio,
to.
like play it back. No, I need to slow
Uh,
that part down. All right, here's where the bass comes in.
Yeah, like, you basically have turned this fucking like technological
Yes.
marvel into essentially a fucking like recording studio. Which I love. What its name? I can't remember its
ship?
fucking name now.
Isn't Mech?
It was called Gezemek. I had it written somewhere and I lost it because I'm so the Haint Gezemek. There they are. Yeah, I say without much more ado, I would say eventually you do get to. I'd say like maybe along the way, like the ship AI plays like chess with like some of you guys if you want, or checkers or whatever. Very weird, like, you know, kind of like relationship with this AI. However you want to like interpret your characters interacting with it, but like I would say to a degree, like now the like it
Cool.
can communicate with registered users. So it can speak to Remy and to Zensika, so they can hear the AI if the AI reaches out to them. But anytime one of them tries to run an inquiry, very quickly, like, you get a notification that, like, user so-and-so is trying to run inquiry about this. Permissions allowed, and, like, basically
Yeah.
asking, like, are you cool with, like, me telling them shit? Like, you're
I'll-
ultimately, like,
Anyone
master
who's
user.
registered on Team Purple, I'll make sure they have like full access.
All right. So then you don't get notifications anymore. Picks up Hot Boy Heron. Nice. I'll say if you ask for pics of Hot Boy Heron, the onboard computer does not know, unable to find inquiry Hot Boy Heron. It basically wants you to feed it information to eventually be able to give it. So if you have images of Hot Boy Heron to feed it, it will holofy them. It will give you a 3D rendition of it.
Oh my god, what if it's able to start doing AI art of Hot Boy Heron if you give it enough pictures of it?
No, we do not condone AI art. You try to do that, and the onboard computer is like, that is unethical. I do not
Okay,
have...
but what if it could do a hologram of Hot Boy Heron?
Yeah, it does that. It takes an image of Hot Boy Heron and it will make a hologram out of that. But it will not create its own artistic rendition with AI art because the computer says it is unethical. Do not have permissions from artists. Do not have permissions from artists to utilize this material. It takes copyright infringement extremely seriously. As should we all. But yeah. Beyond that, eventually you do get to the outer part of. So what are you doing with the ship? Because at this point it looks like a floating boat because that's its frame of reference for
Can
quote unquote
have
camouflage
it
of this
reconfigure
world.
so that it looks like a wagon? It's just bigger on the inside, kind of a thing.
Ooh. Give me a performance check.
How good of a description can I
say
give it?
A performance check to yeah, give it a description or draw something or just something so the computer
Sure.
can be I need to build around this concept.
Oh, 30.
Basically. You absolutely make this thing fully makes it look like a covered wagon. And with a fucking 30, oh my god, I'm gonna do some wild shit for you. There is an old man, a hologram of an old man included in the AI that's at the front of the wagon, and he looks like he'd turn and be like, I don't know, but he has totally the voice of the AI because the AI can't it can't fake a voice, it can't act. So it looks and instead of going it's hello, fellow traveler. So you have the AI in the place of this old man, and to everyone else it looks like a covered wagon, a big covered wagon. But inside it's huge, sort of like a Mordenkainen's mansion situation. I am imagining the old man it looks like is Hercules' adopted dad.
Oh yeah.
Straw hat, kind of weird, old scraggly tunic. I love the Hot Boy Heron. Hot Boy Heron will always be a thing. We forever stand Hot Boy Heron, and
would Knud be able
Fade,
to
I think his
get
name
word
was.
that Zen has been trying to do an image search for Hot Boy Heron?
I feel eventually, if you looked up, you're basically got parent controls on this thing, right? You could be what are these? Yeah, what is? You're I need to know the history of Remy and fucking Zensika, and Zensika's is a straight up horny teens fucking Hot Boy Heron butt, Hot Boy Heron side boob, you're she's oh my, and the computer's constantly I have no image for these, I have no basis of information.
Man.
Have the ship give me a stylus and drawing board so that I can try to input my best Statue of David renditions of Aaron.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're giving
She needs a way to cope. All right, she's got a
you're
lot of
giving this
angst.
teenager porn to work with. Okay, I understand. I understand if I need a performance check. Welcome to the group, you guys that are listening in. By the way, this is who you have to look forward to
It's only a
playing with.
16.
I'm sure you're excited. That's why I wanted to combine the groups so bad. A 16, it's pretty good. Zensika, one day you're like, I gotta like word this in a way that like the computer can maybe make up an image for, and you like word it in a way, and you get an image back. Where like you've described Hot Boy Heron, and so like like you're like, oh, maybe it'll like superimpose a head on like just his head on like a hot bod, and you get one.
Okay.
It's not like it's not amazing, but like it's
serviceable.
pretty good. Yes, it's. Oh, I hate that you use that word. It's serviceable. Yes. I don't know how to know the service that you're using it for, but yes,
okay.
it is serviceable. We all know. We know.
And there's only so much crying over her friend she can do.
That's cool. That's so cool. Like, I love you guys because like, you're so fucking quotable. It's serviceable. I imagine Hot Boy Heron looks like I actually did think of like what he would look like, and I imagine he looks like Matt Bomer, who I have a huge crush on.
Oh yeah, okay. I was picturing Captain Hook from Once
My
Upon a
wife
Time.
does not think he is attractive.
Awesome.
Oh fuck yeah!
Here we go.
Oh man.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
what's this show called? Once Upon a Time.
Once upon a time, I've told you before. Captain Hook is in my top 5.
Todd thinks it's ridiculous because he's just like clearly wearing eyeliner, and I'm like, that's part of it. Look at that.
So my wife likes a eyeliner. Yes, my wife likes eyeliner on me. She likes nail polish and eyeliner.
Oh
on me.
yes.
So I of course made my cyberpunk character have eyeliner and nail polish.
Honestly though, both of these guys, like, yeah, I could see this as Hot Boy.
Yeah. I do like Lucifer Morningstar as well. I do, yeah, I'm like
We can't forget about Sexy Gallivant.
Yeah, this is working. This is working for Zen.
so many
Except
of, like,
the hologram
bisexual
has the
awakening,
personality of like Riley's
icons for me.
imaginary girlfriend or boyfriend from Inside Out.
No, there's
would
no.
do that
We're
for
not
you.
like the AI is not advanced enough for that yet. Hold on. Let me stop. Hold on. Let me just stop you there. The AI is not fully integrated. It's not VR. We're not. The AI basically you want that, and the AI is like. It reminds you it has 2% power. If you want to get the horny done, you have to give it more power. It is holding your horny hostage.
I would die for Riley.
What is this from?
It's from Inside Out. It's when they're in like the girl's head. It's like her imaginary
Canada
boyfriend
or something.
that they just like print
I don't-
over and over again. I would die for Riley.
I don't remember that part of it. I
Die for
remember
Riley.
her like I remember the weird hot Canadian dad. And the mom. Like the cute bookkeeper librarian mom. I really was just like her parents are both really hot. Yeah. That guy?
I can't do just the stash.
It's like he has the stash and stubble though.
Look.
Like you can't do just.
It's almost for me. I can't. It's either like you go all stubble or you have like a beard. Like I can't do like the half and half.
Coward.
I just can't.
I want to do the Abe Lincoln, and then we together will form a full mustache. A full beard, rather.
It's too like 80s 90s cop for me.
I see those are the best Some Starsky and Hutch action. Four of us. Are four of us by? My God. Unstoppable. No one is safe. Oh, I had to stop for a second because I heard like a sound, and it was my dog. My dog is just being too excited with my wife in the other room. He ran into something. My Wi-Fi signal is strong. Okay. You get the whole we'll kind of bring it back to reality. No, you cannot have
Okay.
hologram Hot Boy Heron give weird porn to Zensika. Just saying it now. You do get a weird hologram bust and maybe waist up. Hot Boy Heron, the 16, maybe Knud did not get to the bottom half. Maybe Knud stopped because he was like, all right, that's there's grief, and then there's all right, calm down. So maybe Knud didn't feel super comfortable drawing full peen for Zensika. He did show
That's
full peen
fair.
last session, so maybe that was
I
he's
get the
all right,
visage.
that's too
I get
much.
the
Yeah, you maybe draw him with some some respectable but
jeez.
tasteful bulge, but clothed, and
Okay.
that's what you get. And then the obviously the cart, which is really what we're here for. Tasteful bulge. Yeah, we're so quotable. Tasteful bulge is now. I regret. Fuck, what was the other thing?
It's serviceable.
I'm losing
I'll
track.
put it in the note
It's
channel.
serviceable. That's right. Serviceable. Yes, you get in your weird hologram cart to the edge of Kraustrow. I will say it's a hologram, and your boat is floating. So I like to make things still work kind of in the realm of possibility in a way. So I imagine it as your ship is still taking up that space, but it's just it's invisible camo other than the cart. So if someone reached up and tried to touch above the cart, they would feel the ship there, essentially. So it is up to you if you would like to try to bring the ship as a hologram cart into town. You're going to need to make checks to see if you can drive a boat through a town without hitting something.
Town and ask it to pretend to be a tree.
Roll me a performance check again.
23.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
get
I'm just trying to be
you get it to look
discreet,
like
and
a
then we'll go
tree.
into town on foot.
Yeah, it's able to kind of camouflage itself to be nondescript. But where you get to the edge of town, where are you heading?
I guess we're gonna go looking for the bar and grill. Is it Green Tree? Green Ears.
Green Ears Bar and Grill. Asking about town. We'll get getting pretty close to calling it for the night, but you get to the
I'll like
Get
let
to
people
town. You
know
go to
who
town.
we
You
are,
ask
like,
around
we're
a
with
bit
the initiative,
for green ears. People kind of like nod and kind of like, yeah,
Okay.
cool. Like no one here seems to. You're in Sanduuin now. Hraustrow is not in Krissune. You did cross the border, and I'll actually say this. I forgot to mention. There is no guard tower or patrol or like sort of like customs when you come into Sanduuin. As you leave, you see there's a tower and some guards posted at the edge of Sanduuin that are like guards, or sorry, at the edge of Krissune that are guards. Checking people's like papers or just talking to them and saying like what's your business here, like what are you coming into the country for, that sort of a thing. Nothing like that at Sanduuin. It's completely like a show up. And you, as you go into this town of Hraustrow, you see all kinds of people. You see tieflings, you see humans, you see dwarves, you see elves and dragonborn. And those last two, they're not wearing like colors of like Krissune. Like most of the time you see, they just look like regular people that live here, locals. Even see the odd felis or two and halfling every now and again. I'd say that's not a shock to you, Remy, as you're originally from Sanduuin. Like it's truly like free. There's no like sort of connotations to being any sort of like race from X country. Like everyone is just like, people both accept you for like because they accept you because they don't give a shit about you. Is sort of the way it is.
Perfect place for wizards to study.
Exactly. It's not so much that like, oh yeah, we accept everybody for who they are. It's more like, I don't give a shit who you are. Like no one's really racist because no one gives a shit about anybody else. Because there's literally everybody here. Kind of the best and the worst. But you eventually do get directions to Greenback's Bar and Grill. It looks like it's a 2-story tavern. A sign at the entrance denoting what it is. The iconography looks like it is it looks like it's like the face of like a goblin woman with like pigtails smiling, and it looks like it has been like kind of slapdash painted green. And as you kind of come up to the front of the door, all of you would see a man being like thrown out from the doors. And you hear a voice.
Do yourself a favor. Stay out.
Fuck you. I'll be back tomorrow.
I want to kick him down the stairs.
Ugh.
She'll like dust off her hands.
Wait till I tell my brothers about this. And he tries to get up and kind of like falls back down because he's super fucked up.
Can't wait.
You'll be sorry.
She just kind of makes the like shoe gesture.
Kind of throws his hands at you, like in like the sassy like. Stumbles away.
She just shakes her.
Adria, you see in front of you standing there 3 very small people that do not look like they're from around here. Would you like to describe yourself, Adria?
Yes. If you want to drop that art in the chat. Currently.
Oh, you would like me to drop like my... Oh, you want to straight up use the thing I painted. Cool.
Yeah.
What am I here?
Currently, she is not wearing any armor. The only thing she has is the axe in this art that Steve is going to post. But she has long braided hair. Because she's wearing a cut-off shirt, you can see that there are several scars across her stomach, torso, and up her arms that look long-healed. As she just kind of glances down at you and raises a brow, and says, "Don't mind me. The
She's
tavern's
human?
welcoming as long as you're nice." Yes.
She is.
Nud's gonna light a cigarette.
Okay, she'll step aside and let them go in.
Tavern keeper here. Just a concerned citizen.
More like hired help.
Well, maybe you could help us. We're Team Purple. We're here from Sanctuary City Initiative. We were told to meet some folks here.
Ah,
Oh,
then you're who I'm waiting for. So, she looks over all of you. I don't see
Yeah,
much
more's the
purple in the
pity.
group.
Zen bristles at that.
She says, "Come in. You must be, tired. We'll get a table."